Major ADC presidential aspirants are in the field jostling for the party's ticket. It's a day of decision for ADC members across the country. And tonight, in an exclusive conversation with Channels Television, speaking with Professor Nentawe Yudwada, processing, analyzing, and appraising the presidential primaries where President Bola Tinubu emerged. So Yudwada tells Channels Television APC's plan for the opposition. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimale, right for you here in our Abuja studio. Let's begin tonight by letting you know what has happened today. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Governor of Lagos State and former Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, and an economist, Mr. Yatuding, are all in the field today, jostling for the ADC ticket, as no one stepped down for any other person in the race. So we saw earlier today in Adamawa State where former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and in Rivers State where former Minister of Transportation participated in the ADC presidential primary election which took place across the country. Atiku cast his vote earlier in the day at the Ajia ward in Jimeta, Yola, Adamawa State, as the ADC hoped to get the process concluded in determining who is the flag bearer of the party in a direct primary to select the candidate for the 2027 presidential election. The exercise held simultaneously across Nigeria's 8,809 wards and is adopting the option A4 voting method with accredited party members queuing openly behind their preferred aspirants. From Jimeta, let's take you to Rivers State, where we saw the former governor of Rivers State, who was saying joining all the voters at the polling units in Obima as voting commenced earlier in the day in the state. But he has his views on the exercise. Take a listen to Mr. Rotimi Amechi.
There was a huge number of turnouts in their thousands. That turned out to vote. First, there was dancing, celebrations, and all that, and then we got the INEC people involved and all that. And I did cast my vote, and I left the place. I was monitoring the country, state by state, where I was, but now I've stopped because I have to engage people. Currently, no result is out. I hope that the system will be transparent as it was in my village. If it is transparent, I will accept the result, because from the one, all we agreed is that if the primary is free and fair, nobody is going anywhere. But where it is not free and fair, a lot of us will react.
Also, we saw Mr. Ayatuding, who is also saying voting in his own state, hopefully expecting that his supporters will give him what is needed and the numbers to emerge as the party's candidate. The contest for the ADC presidential ticket is among three aspirants cleared by the party's National Working Committee led by former Senate President David Mark, and the contenders, which are Atiku Abubakar, Mechi, and Mr. Muhammad Ayatudin. Earlier today, we saw former Minister of Education, Ms. Obi Ezekwesili, rights activist Omoyele Sowore, asking citizens to rise and protect the country's democracy from collapse, as they describe recent political developments across the country as undemocratic. They made an appeal at the stakeholders' engagement on the 2027 general election in Abuja, organized by the Movement for Credible Election. The gathering, which had the leaders of some political parties and their presidential aspirants, was put together to extract potential challenges to achieving credible elections in 2027, and members of the movement for the credible elections chaired by the former Minister of Education, Obi Ezekwesili, are holding this stakeholders engagement to discuss preparations to the 2027 general election. Take a listen to Dr. Obi Ezekwesili.
Allegations of political interference, inconsistent judicial rulings on electoral disputes, and the deployment of security forces during even party meetings do nothing to increase the confidence of the people in our democracy. There's growing anxiety that our elections have entirely been purchased and that nothing else matters in our democratic processes than loads of money.
All right, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili speaking earlier today at the press conference of the Movement for Credible Elections. Tonight on the program, we take a deep look into the growing controversy surrounding the ruling APC in the aftermath of its presidential and party primaries ahead of the 2027 general elections. From allegations of imposition, internal agitation, and questions over transparency to opposition claims of attempts to weaken rival parties and shrink Nigeria's democratic space, the political temperature across the country continues to see some rising in the horizon as millions of Nigerians now battle economic hardship, insecurity, and rising living costs. Critical questions are now being asked about governance, accountability, and future of the nation's democracy as we look ahead to the 2027 election, which will be a determinant for a lot of Nigerians in determining who becomes the next leader. Joining us tonight on the program, we had a sit-down with the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Professor Nantawe Yitwada, as we examine the state of the ruling party, the opposition pressure, the road to 2027, and the concerns of ordinary Nigerians. We had this exclusive conversation where we began asking him about an appraiser of the presidential primary, which saw President Bola Tinubu emerged as the party's candidate. Should I say congratulations? Because people thought that the primary was almost decided, almost determined even before it started. How do you describe the conduct of the presidential primaries of the APC?
You don't discuss the presidential primary election in isolation. We have an entire program that started from congresses, ward elections, to the local government, to the state, the convention that culminated into the NWC being elected, which I was privy to be one of the people elected in the National Working Committee of the party. Secondly, we started a primary election from the House of Representatives to Senate, to the House of Assembly, governorship, and then the presidential. And in all these congresses, you could see the mass mobilization, even from the election of the exco of the party, including myself. You saw the convention, how well organized it was, well-oiled, prepared. You know, we have one of the most prepared machinery, a political machine that's prepared for war, can tackle any political opponent. See how organized the primaries were. Almost near rancor-free, no crisis, no incidences, natural, almost zero incidences in terms of crisis in communities at world level. It shows that APC is well organized. The members believe in the party because any parties work in self-belief and hope, and everybody in APC is hopeful, and that's why we discovered that people are turning out in their thousands, believing that hope that the party can win, the party can perform, the leadership of the party is prepared to provide leadership of the country at the same time. So it's about that self-belief of the party members, self-belief of people in the party itself. And that also goes to show about the governance that's in the party. Governance is normally very important in party management. Party management itself is the most critical factor in providing leadership for the party. From the leader of the party, which is the president, that has provided leadership for the party, the National Working Committee headed by myself, the NEC headed by myself also, and also the CAC was headed by the same national chairman of the party, who provided credible leadership that you could see different from any other political party. You don't hear of even unlike before. You hear state ESCO fighting. You have division in ESCO. You hear of even people, different camps. Someone declaring the state chairman of this party, parallel, ESCO in states. These were just the dark days of our party. All these are now gone. We have organized structures. We have organized political machinery. We have also an organized management of the party. So you could also see that going down in terms of our congresses. We printed materials. We have sensitive materials, separate from non-sensitive materials. That's never happened before in any political party in Nigeria. We deploy them. Even the logistics of deploying them, the mechanism, the structure of documenting and structuring them down to the what, well organized. That's never happened before. That's why I said the management of the party has changed. And these are defining moments in this party.
You told the president that you were satisfied with the conduct of the primaries. But, there are videos that are surfacing of how people were miscounting, maybe because of lack of how to count numbers. Apparently, and those who are curious, the last time around, the president had about 8 million votes to win the election, but he had 10 million votes this time around. How are you able? The generality of Nigerians could not even give him what his political party has given him primaries.
Let me ask you. In 2023, how many governors were in APC? How many governors do we have now that have decamped? In 2023, how many House of Assembly do we have? How many have decamped now? How many National Assembly members were in APC? How many Senate? We had 50-something senators. Now we have 90-something senators. So you mean there's no change? There's no addition? Within those periods that we're having, the election that happened in those states, most people were there. I'll give some sentiments that happen in different places. Let me give you some of the sentiments. For example, in some states, like Plateau, like Nasarawa, and some few northern states, Christian communities, they went for Obi. They were mostly on sentiments of religion. Are those statements there again? The answer is no. Today, they are fully with Mr. President, from the governors to National Assembly to the community leaders to everybody there together with Mr. President. The South was purely with PDP or with Obi. Today, all of them, the entire South is now APC. So tell me, what do you think of that? Even the Northwest, as of that time, NNPP was there and PDP was there. Today, near zero. So you mean we've not had addition in terms of numbers of governors, membership drive, and the structure of the party?
But again, you look at history. Buhari had more vote as presidential candidate internally for the primaries than he had when he was re-elected as president. So there are those who will say, yes, these figures look manipulated and manufactured. How do you convince an average person, an average Nigerian, that these figures are not cooked?
But that's the difference between our party and any other political party. Our data, to register as a member of APC, your name, your data, your primary data is sourced from NIMSI, not from any other source. And anybody who's on NIMSI, that's the same parameter that is used across the country. To open a bank account, you go to NIMSI. To get driver's license, you apply to NIMSI. International passport, you apply to NIMSI. So we're the only political party that will source our primary data from NIMSI. NIMSI verifies data beyond what you think. The security agencies, they verify the data, and there's not a verification before you're even registered on NIMSI. Mark you, these are some of the things, the steps we've taken as a political party to ensure that we get our data right.
So you are saying that we can subject the outcome of this election to a forensic audit?
Very well. Now let me just give you some data, simple data. We have to compute our data. We collected people that won House of Assembly. We aggregated the data, put it together, and we put it together. What vote do we get? We got about, for House of Assembly, we got about 10.1 million people that voted across the state. We put the vote of individuals together. That of Senate, that of National Assembly, we put the votes together. The difference is near insignificant. The president even got more vote than all of them put together in terms of margin. Now, but if you have difference of 1%, 2%, 3%, 1%, it means that these data, and we can manufacture this data across all the country. We manufacture it for House of Assembly, manufacture it for Senate, and these are individuals contesting in the various wards, and we aggregate them together, and they look similar. It tells you that APC is doing the right thing, taking the right step. Our data are also similar, different data set, similar differences. These are things that you cannot find in any political party in Nigeria apart from APC.
Can you tell us how many people we have now on the APC register?
About 12.7 million, roughly.
And you had almost 11 million of them.
About 11 million
that came out yesterday for President.
Almost about 2 million were not, about 1.something million, almost getting 2 million that were able to vote.
How are you going to manage the fallout of some of the primaries in some other states? There are a lot of people who are angry. Pantami, for example, pulled out. Nedunwoko says it was rigged. The former deputy Senate president in Delta State is angry that the process is skewed. There are a lot of agitations out there about these primaries. And there are those who say your party is about to witness one of the most disastrous drawn of implosion that can ever happen to any political party in history.
Now, let me just tell you, which primary election, which competitive activity you have, even this football, that you not have people complaining. If you play any league, you watch any competition that's very competitive, everybody wants to win, and everybody comes with the spirit of winning. And most times when people are, you look at yourself, you say, okay, like I keep on saying, maybe you have only one position. Like in the Kwara, I'll give Kwara as an example. One position, 16 people contesting for the governorship. All of them eminently qualified, from businessmen to professors. Some even came from overseas with so much vast experience. Former speaker, former senators, serving senators. Just keep on counting it. And all of them were gearing towards the same position. And we have a House of Assembly, one position. What about 28 people contesting for it? One position, 28 people, all of the eminently qualified. Even the professor was contesting for that position of House of Assembly. Now tell me, if you have this number of people gearing from the same position, do you know why they're doing that? People are seeing APC as one of the most viable, stable political party.
Is it?
Yes.
Is your party stable?
Very stable.
Is it viable?
Very viable.
For politicians or for the average person?
Everybody. That accommodates everybody. Look, let me just say, the reason why it's not, I keep on saying that it's the most viable. Look at the mobilization that takes place. Which party has this kind of mechanism of mobilizing people? Is it our support groups? mobilize people in their thousands to organize meetings, outings. Look, let me just ask you a question. Which political party have you watched, Shehu? Be frank with yourself. You have seen organize a meeting, apart from making press conferences and condemning APC. APC have done this. Show me one gathering of one political party in Nigeria in the last 2 months, organized by a party that you see up to 5,000 people. Not a single one that I've watched on TV. But every week you see an APC program organized by a party in one state, a local government, a community, individuals organizing their own. Mobilizing is not just about an individual, about the party itself. It's about individuals. Just imagine, do you know how many people vie for this for person in the APC? Over 6,000.
Across all of
across the country, yes. From the president down to the House of Assembly. Over 6,000.
So you're expecting that there will be grievances, people will not be happy with the but how are you going to manage it?
But wait now, this is the sweetest part of the story. These people are mobilizing people as their supporters at the local government, at the ward level. They galvanize, just imagine that if each of them can galvanize 1,000 people, just 1,000 people, times 6,000, it means just those people can galvanize up to 6 million people. That's the implication. Just the contestant alone can galvanize up to 6 million people. But you can't tell me that somebody contesting for governor, Senate, House of Rep can galvanize only 1,000 people. So when we tell you that we have 12 million people or 12 million registered voters, it means that we're not crying foul, because in this individual, there's none that can galvanize less than 2,000 people. 2,000 times 6,000, roughly about 12 million people. Not too bad for our party. But this also the good news that we have in our party. I think there's no party that has a better mechanism for conflict resolution more than our party. Look at what happened during the congresses. After congresses, you recall I was on an interview with you. Yeah. You told me that our party will have witness self-implosion. Actually, it will not.
Maybe it will still happen.
It will not.
Maybe the time has not come.
But during the
maybe this will be the reason.
No, it will not. We had the congresses. We had our conflict resolution mechanism in the party. We had the presidential committee on conflict resolution. We had the party conflict resolution committee, and we advised the states to set up their local conflict resolution committees. And we've been working on all these things. And Mark, you also work on research. So of our data, all we work on data. We're a data-driven political party.
Is it the reason why President wanted you to be? He wanted a professor to bring the academic and the field experience. Is it the dynamics that you bring to bear?
Yes,
this is an entire tactic, right?
No, it's part of my contribution. It's part of my contribution.
We would like to see how you are going to play around what is looming.
What?
A lot. No. I'm saying what that I'm happy. I'm not happy if your party implode, but there are those who think that the signs are there, especially those who are already, those who are aggrieved, Prof. Those who say they have been cheated, they have been rigged out, and I can give you examples of states where this have happened.
And that's why I keep on telling you that we're working to ensure that we keep our members together. I'm not saying that we'll not lose anybody. No. But
you've anticipated that could happen.
It has been happening.
Worst case scenario.
It has been happening. But you see, the people that are moving out are minimal compared to people that are coming in. That's the reason why people keep accusing us. Who are those who in ADC that know that we're not in APC? Amechi was which party? APC. Malimi was which party? APC. Erifai was which party? APC. Let them keep counting them. They were most of them were APC. Why is it that when you say that we are receiving almost everyone to build our party, you don't discuss people who are doing a party to go and build those parties? The ADC is most of them are also APC members. But it has not shaken us. Now, let me ask you, Sheon, in the last 3 weeks, APC is not fighting ADC or NDC. It is NDC versus ADC or ADC versus NDC. I keep on saying I watch the font of the insults that ADC is raining on NDC. And NDC is responding all those fireworks back on this. I watched the videos and I laughed. The self-implosion is in the opposition rather than in APC.
What are you going to do differently to bring cohesion in the aftermath of the primary?
But do you accept? I told you that there will be implosion in the opposition. You told me that it can't happen, but you're seeing it.
Are you orchestrating it?
No, no, I can't. But I'll be happy if I can do it. That's my job. If you're opposing me, should I be happy? You watch you oppose me? If you oppose me, if you're opposing me, you say you're in opposition. So what's my job? So stop the opposition.
So all is fair in war?
That
either by biting or by using dagger or by
so at the war front.
So how are you confident that you are able to stem the tide? And I want your party members who are watching tonight to find out how do you want to be able to resolve this? Have you started speaking with people? Because I'll give an example.
Yes.
How can you explain, Prof, that someone was endorsed on a Tuesday or Wednesday by the governor? The governor, and I'm talking about Kwara State, for example. On Friday, there was a primary. It was postponed to Saturday. And another person entirely emerged. Those who say there's a fundamental problem. How do you explain that kind of scenario?
But when the governor endorses somebody, he's an individual. And anybody can endorse anybody.
There are those who thought that he got the blessings of president.
No. The president is not involved in selecting a governor.
But there are those who went to him, but took pictures, and they took the picture back home that said that the president's candidate.
Another person. Even me, I went and snapped a picture with the president. Was I endorsed? Last week I was with him. I had a picture with him. So I was endorsed for what?
You were not running for any of it.
But that's what I'm asking a question. Because anybody that goes to the president can snap a picture. People come here and snap a picture with me as national chairman of the party. Doesn't mean I'm endorsing them. A lot of contestants were here. They snap a picture with me here. They put it on social media. Does that mean endorsement? Even if I endorse somebody, I'm an individual. It's not the party endorsing the person. It's when a party, the party, and the state is not a party, a government is not a party. It's when a party, the party, which I chair, it means I'm signing out. The party has endorsed so person. It means that nobody can stand against that person.
We'll take a break, and when we return, more on the engagement with Professor Yuwada, the APC national chairman, and the plan that they have for the opposition party. Can the party weather the storm against the opposition forces that keeps rising every day? After this break, everyone.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as Sure Banker. Na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Go Bible.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has resumed the third and final phase of the nationwide continuous voter registration CVR. The exercise, which commenced on Monday, 11th of May 2026, will close on Friday, 10th of July 2026, and is open to persons who have never registered before or turned 18 years after the last registration exercise. Intending voters can visit the INEC voter registration portal at www.cvr.inecnigeria.org to pre-register online and proceed to complete the process at any INEC office to capture their fingerprints and photograph. Citizens can also register physically at any INEC state or LGA office. If your PVC is lost or damaged, do not register afresh. Simply visit the online registration portal or any INEC office and apply for a replacement. You can also T-transfer or update your personal information during this period. Make your voice heard. Get registered. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy.
If it is valuable, you protect it. Your money, your home, your reputation. In the same way, your personal information is valuable. When not protected, it can be misused, leading to fraud, identity theft, and lasting harm. If you experience a data privacy breach or misuse of your personal information, report immediately to the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, NDPC, via info@ndpc.gov.ng. Every organization that collects and processes data are known as data controllers and data processors and required to comply with the provisions of the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023, which include registration and renewal with the NDPC. Kindly note that the NDP Act compliance audit for year 2025 is ongoing. Ensure compliance to avoid sanctions, fines, and operational disruptions. Visit services.ndpc.gov.ng. This announcement is from the NDPC, Nigeria Data Protection Commission, championing privacy rights.
My baba, they always say, for market, every day gets your own wahala. Sometimes people go on scam you. But Baba say, no be by gra. You must cool down, dey sharp. Because with OPay payment, your money go enter sharp, no story. But inside market, anything fit happen. One day, we no see phone again. My baba remember OPay USSD lock, dial *955*131#. Baba press am, lock account. From market woman to driver, from small boy to big man. Now OPay, they protect people like us. My papa fit sell, press phone, collect POS, and still they teach me price. And when they don't tire am, go just tap OPay night guard. We no fear for this our hustle life. Now OPay be the people payment shield.
Sitting governor at that, and doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that his power was vetoed or his interest was cancelled.
Anybody can endorse a person. There are people that were endorsed, but they lost. I don't count it. They said I'm not telling you about 4 states. The government came and endorsed people, and they didn't win the primaries. So that's where internal democracy comes in. To tell you how powerful our party is when it comes to internal democracy.
Prof, it does look that your party was a bit favorable to the consensus arrangement. Even before the primary started, even the president released a statement to say, look, let's go to the field peacefully and let's look at consensus arrangement and how it can change democracy. But of course, consensus broke down. It didn't work in most parts of the Even the president could not get a consensus. Stanley's tool is grand. Of course. Until the last moment.
And that's what I'm telling you, that's where the internal democracy comes in APC. We go by the books. What does the law says? What the Constitution says? The Electoral Act says, and even the Constitutional Party also, and our guideline as a party, our own, because the Electoral Act says that where consensus, even if one person out of the diaspora disagrees, you must go to the field. So we abided by the book strictly. We abided by the law strictly. We didn't go outside we didn't want to violate the Electoral Act, the Constitution, or the party constitution.
The Kwara situation, what happened?
Which one is that?
The Kwara situation with the governor and what happened within Friday and Saturday. What was really behind that? What's the story behind the story?
There's no story behind anything. That I said we postponed many elections. Even as I'm talking to you, today I postponed. There's one that we're shifting one House of Assembly to Wednesday. So, you look at the peculiarity of states. You get in particular states that are issues that are placed a bit insecurity, sometimes issues, unresolved issues. Maybe they were consensus being agreed. Finally, it broke down, and you have to now write INEC to ask for. Because if you're going for consensus, you write INEC. If you're changing, you must write INEC again. Then you're changing it, and you must give a new date. So we have to be shifting where there are issues to ensure that we...
It was very chaotic because you have to go back and forth, back and forth.
But that's where I said that our party is well organized. Well organized. We respond in minutes, in days.
All right. Prof, if you look at the situation, similar thing, and I'd like to know, I'm very curious. Rivers State, I'm very interested. What really happened? It does look like Wike had his way throughout in your primaries.
Wike is in our party.
But he has his way. All of his...
Wike is in my party.
What happened?
He's in PDP.
Why Simple Barak could not get a ticket? But he's sitting governor.
But he pulled out.
Doesn't that look strange to you?
He stepped down.
Is that not strange? Isn't that weird?
It's personal to him. We allowed him to buy the forms. He came for screening. He passed the screening. We were waiting for the primaries, and he opted to step down. It's not in my...
Because there are those who will say, for example, a sitting senator, a former deputy governor, was disqualified. That is sort of unusual.
Why?
What is the criteria for the screening, anyways, when a sitting senator that is want to run again for that Senate seat and the former deputy governor, or even someone who ran for president on your party's platform were disqualified from Rivers State? Does that look? Prof, if you had ran for governor in Plateau State, if you were disqualified for the same position you have run for.
Let me give an example. Our party said that, our guidelines said that before you are qualified to contest for the position, for example, you must get people that will nominate you. Is that okay? And the Constitutional Party says that you must be a financial member to contest or be voted for or be nominated. Now, if you have somebody who has not paid his dues, he has no proved of paying or being a financial member, you stand disqualified because you must be a financial member of the party based on the constitution of the party.
Is that the reason why they were disqualified?
For some. And then, we said that for you to be nominated, to nominate somebody, you must be a financial member. And you must be a member of APC. There are some that could, in short, even some people go as far as their membership numbers were incoherent. So we couldn't even find them on the party platform.
But Chinda was a member of another political party a few weeks before he emerged as a candidate of your party.
But he defected.
Was he given a waiver?
No. Our party has no waiver. Even if you come to our party today, you can still equal right. You can have equal right with any other person. That's why it's called most people who defected. You can defect even today and contest tomorrow. Doesn't matter in our party, provided we are registered.
And they came from the rear and they overtook those who have been building the TN Jack Ridge, the Senator Banigo, Ipalibo, and all of those people were literally wiped out of existence in the party they built over the years.
Let me just tell you, Sheun, I joined the APC in 2022, January. By May, I was candidate of the APC on the plateau. By 2025, last year, 3 years after, I was the national chairman of the party. 3 years after. There are people who have been there from 2013 till death. Does it mean that I'm not qualified to be the chairman of the party? Because I just spent 3 years in the party. Our party doesn't discriminate based on how long you've been in the political party, in any party. Because there's no the party doesn't give that as a criteria for qualifying to contest an election. There's nothing about the timeline that you must be in the party for a certain number of months or a certain number of years before you contest for election. So our party gives room for anybody to walk in today and contest tomorrow. You don't walk in today and contest even today.
Prof, let me put you on the spot.
Yes.
The president had over 10 million votes in the primary.
Yes.
Can you deliver the same at the general election?
More than. These are our members. Our anticipation is that when their families, students, just imagine, my own thinking now, most students are most likely not members of our party. They are not members of our party. Most students. We have about 1.5 million students who are beneficiaries of a student loan. Every month, they receive 20,000 naira, as bursary to support their education. Their school fees are paid for them completely. Most of the indigent students, they have their parents, they have their families, they have their brothers. These 1.5 million students added to the about 11 million votes. We're talking about 30 or something million votes from the students. What people are receiving the loan from our loan schemes. We have a health support system. We've added about 4 million Nigerians to our health insurance scheme. Mostly retired workers, mostly the elderly, and several people who are among the vulnerable people that have been added to the health insurance scheme. These people, do you think they will vote another party apart from APC? And just imagine the people that are being recruited, the thousands of people that have been recruited, that are involved in building the coastal road, building the Lagos-Badagry road, building the railway, the rail lines that runs into Kano, into Maradi, building the gas pipeline that runs. These are people in their millions being harvested that are involved directly or indirectly in building this infrastructure in Nigeria. The massive trillion of naira that's going into infrastructure every day in our budget every year in Nigeria is harvesting thousands of people who are now being engaged. It's boosting the economy of communities, boosting the internal economy of the country. Municipal no voters, they're against us. Sometimes we talk, and even just imagine who have the dialysis problem. In the thousands every day that benefited from our health insurance, our health coverage, dropping the cost of dialysis to roughly less than 20,000 per dialysis, from over 60,000 naira per dialysis. People are getting it. People are feeling it. Having cancer centers delivered. 3 cancer centers that most people travel out of the country before they access, cancer support. Today we have 3 cancer centers delivered. We're delivering, another 3 again in the next 1 or 2 years. I can go on and on and on until they feel us across the country about infrastructure, our support system for the vulnerable. All this will count on election day. Apart from our mobilization tools, which is very important for us. I'm
very sure that if President Bola Tinubu watching you tonight will say, I did not regret having suggested this guy to be the national chairman of the APC, because it looks like you are describing a situation that a lot of Nigerians probably would not have gotten properly, if not from the kind of perspective, in a calm manner. But those who will disagree with you anyways. But the facts
I'm not saying you should agree with me. Everyone should agree with me.
Yeah, but I'm saying that you are able to put the perspective of your party in a very calm and civil manner, in which a lot of people will imagine that you are unpolitician-like in the manner in which you're doing. But there are those figures that I would like to take up with you. Prof, who is supposed to announce the primary result at all levels? Assembly, state, Senate, House of Reps, and the president. Is it the national or the state?
Okay, this is how it works. We set up a committee. The committee will go back and set up ad hoc committee at the state level. This ad hoc committee will now go to the world and conduct the congresses. If it is House of Assembly, the result is declared at the state constituency and brought to the committee. The committee records it and bring it. But we have the appeal committee at all levels. So what you have is not the final result until the appeal committee gives their verdict. That's why yesterday, if you recall, after we did the compilation, before the president comes in, we asked the agent of OSIFO if they have any objection. OSIFO's agent says that he has no objection. So at that point, we waited for almost about 30-40 minutes. It allows the appeal committee to tidy up their report and give us a report that OSIFO's agent says he has no objection. With that, we could declare President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a winner of the primary election. Assuming OSIFO says that they have objection and they're right, it means that the appeal must go through the NWC, and the NWC will sit and verify before we call the president to come and get his own certificate of return. Right. We gave certificate of return yesterday because the appeal committee and OSIFO was there, the agent were there, and they said they were okay with it. So, and NWC were there. So we now pass the resolution within that place to say President Tinubu can get his own.
Invariably, at the state level,
yes. So
the
state cannot.
State assembly has the power to announce state assembly result.
The collection officer will announce the result, but don't declare a winner until the appeal committee submit their report to NWC. NWC will now compare the outcome of the primaries and the appeal report, and then we can now declare the final winner, and we can give certificate of return to the person who has been declared as a winner.
Let me ask you, what will you be telling Nigerians to vote for when they see your party on the ballot?
So many things. Sheung, before our coming, the economy was in disarray. We were already on negative GDP. Today, this last year, Nigeria was among the top 10 countries that contributed to the growth, GDP growth of the world, global growth. Top 10 countries in the world, not in Nigeria alone. That's what we have. This last quarter, Nigeria beat most countries to economic growth. I think the country that exceeded us a little bit in terms of growth is Ghana, across Africa.
But sadly, our inflation rate over the last two or three measurement has risen. Reuters has said that Tinubu's reforms won investors' praise, but worsen hardship through subsidy removal and currency liberalization, meaning that the policy of this government and this party has impoverished more Nigerians. That is the report. Global organizations are reporting about this.
No,
the economy.
But okay, if you look at the data of the inflation also, it hit 34%. It dropped to 14%. So
by the rebasing,
but
the rebasing is a major factor.
No. Apart from the rebasing, it dropped to 14% because if you look at the last 3 quarters, last 4 quarters, it keep on dropping every quarter. Now, what does that mean? It simply means that the decision we took were right, and the measures we're taking to ameliorate the effect of these policies are also right because the numbers are reducing every day. There's an inflation, so we're taking right decisions. That's number one. Number two, if you look at also the investment that works in the country every year now, it has increased. We have trade surplus for the first time in numbers, which simply means that the measures we've taken also is increasing production because the export has exceeded our import, which means that Nigeria is exporting more than it is importing, which means the policies that Obi was saying that we should increase production, why are you doing it?
So you are using Obi's manifesto?
No.
Implementing?
No, he's
production, consumption?
If you ask most of them, you said we should go into production, ask them why. They have no how. The how is not, the most important is the how. Not you say, if I keep asking them, what will they do different?
Well, Prof.
Number three.
Yeah. Because
Number
a major talking,
would they reverse the student loan so that the vulnerable people will not have access to the student loan again? The answer is no. Would they reverse the road that Shagari dreamed in 1981 of having a road that will run from Sokoto to Badagry, which the president, after over 40 years, getting 50 years now, he's implementing it? Would they reverse it? The answer is no. Would they reverse the rail that will run from Lagos into Kano to Maradi in Niger, to allow Nigeria to harvest the advantage of the landlocked countries in Chad, in Niger, in Burkina Faso and Sudan, to build a new economy for Nigeria from that corridor that has a huge potential for investment, and also for a lot of direct investment in Nigeria? The answer is no. So if we say that we will make more money from that corridor than any other corridor we have in Nigeria, you mean they'll come and reverse all those things? Would they reverse the gas pipeline that would lead from the AKK project from Wari into Abuja, into Kaduna, into Kano, that will take gas to the north? The SPAO of the gas will generate power across the country. You mean they will reverse it and Nigeria will keep quiet? The answer is no.
On a final note, sir, a major talking point going into the election season is going to be about security. Has APC done enough to be re-elected in the real sense of it? Nationally, given security situation in the country, what will you tell the people of Ogbomoso, where their children are running helter-skelter in schools? What would you tell people in Kwara State when bandits are chasing them out of their homes and their communities?
No, we accept the responsibility where we've not done enough, and where maybe sometimes there are security leakages. And this is the reason, because the opening up of the Sahel has opened up a lot of threats from the Sahel axis. We also have agreements with countries like Niger, Burkina Faso and the rest, and those breakdown in agreements, security structure along with them, has affected Nigeria in no small means. But government is doing its part. The collaboration with even international community like US and the rest is improving our targeting of the bandits and also the insecurity in those in those locations. Of course, we're not saying we're there, but we are doing our best to ensure that we improve the security, and we're keep on working it. It's work in progress. We keep on improving it. So the agreements we have in these countries, the improved security funding, and the numbers we're taking off, because the president has acted already. They've asked the Interior to recruit more people in civil defense, other security agencies, police to increase their recruitment, army to increase their recruitment. And then, we have a lot of unmanned and ungoverned spaces across the country. And that's where the foreign guards also come in. The president has asked also that foreign guards should be recruited and deployed across the country. But most importantly, is looking at the issue of state police, that the president is also looking at the option of the state police, working with the state government to see if state police can be implemented so that each state can also have a structure within the state so they can uniquely manage their security challenges across the country. So we're looking at all options to ensure that we improve security in this country.
You don't think Nigerians will punish your party for that?
They will not. They're not saying intentional. They know what we're doing, effort of putting in also, to ensure that we get things right.
But that's our exclusive conversation with the APC National Chairman, Professor Nentawe Yowata. But you can find the full length of that conversation on Channels Television YouTube page, or you can go to our website where you get a link and be able to watch the entire conversation. But that's how far we can go on the program tonight. Many thanks, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Akimale. God bless Nigeria.
Welcome to Election 101 in 5, your direct and straight to the point guide on how elections work in Nigeria. I am Samson Itodo. Election 101 in 5 is brought to you by Yaga Africa with support from the European Union under the EU Supports to Democratic Governance in Nigeria program. This is where we make sense of the law in simple, practical ways for you to understand and use, because in a democracy, what you know can protect you and your vote. So now let's dive straight into it. What happens if a candidate falsifies information in an affidavit? In politics, people make promises and claims all the time. But once those claims are written in an affidavit, they stop being just talk. They become a legal declaration. So what then happens if a candidate lies in a declaration in the document that they submit to INEC? We took this question to the streets, and here is what some Nigerians had to say.
I think so. I'm not a law student, neither am I a political science student, but that doesn't excuse me from, having the knowledge about the political happenings. But that is what I feel.
The law empowers the courts to disqualify the candidates.
See, because if the votes don't count, so how will people that is going for the election, like the presidents, how will they know that this is the number of people that voted?
Very interesting perspective. The streets never fail. Some people think nothing really happens. Others believe the candidate should be disqualified. But the Electoral Act 2026 is clear on this. Before anyone can contest an election in Nigeria, they must submit an affidavit, which is a sworn statement confirming that they meet all the constitutional requirements for seeking that office. This includes things like age, education qualification, and other eligibility criteria. By signing that document, the candidate is effectively saying this information is true. Now, under Section 29, Sub 5 and 6 of the 2026 Electoral Act, there are consequences for providing false information. If another aspirant who took part in the same primaries has a reason to believe that a candidate submitted false information, they can approach the court and ask for that claim to be examined. If the court finds that the information in the affidavit is false and that it affects the candidate's eligibility, the law empowers the court to disqualify that candidate. That means the person can no longer contest in the election. In some cases, the political party that sponsored the candidate may also be affected. So what does this tell us? It tells us that falsifying information is not a minor issue. A false claim about your qualification or your eligibility can end a political ambition instantly. It also shows that the electoral process has checks in place to ensure that only qualified and truthful candidates make it to the ballot. So for aspirants, just be honest. Verify your documents. Understand that the law has consequences for falsehood. For citizens, democracy is not just about voting. It is about accountability at every stage of the process. So be vigilant and engage the process. And that's Election 101 in 5. If you have questions or topics you would like us to cover, reach out to us through any of the handles displayed on your screen. You can also watch this episode and all other episodes on our YouTube channel at Yaga One. Also join our WhatsApp channel for more election and democracy updates by just searching for Yaga Africa on your WhatsApp channel tab. As always, remember, democracy is not won only on election day. It is won or lost in the primaries. So stay vigilant and engaged in the process. Thank you for watching. I am Samson Itodo. Goodbye.
Hello and welcome to News Tracker and Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Our top stories making the rounds at this time. Former Minister of Transportation and presidential aspirant of the African Democratic Congress, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, has thrown his hat in the ring as he joined thousands of supporters and party members today to participate in the party's presidential primary election